Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for the key holes that I consider it to be for qualifying round in the Stateside Classics Tournament Rookie Division. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start the video, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. You can do that completely for free. Also go to golfclashtommy.com to check out our new ball, club, wind, chest and streamer page that we just launched a couple of days ago. Last but not least, get the ultimate tournament guides, which will be adapted for the wind changes throughout the tournament. Patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link directly in the description down below. This is a playthrough where I will cover hole number 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Why only those? It's because the wind will be changed throughout the rounds. We will not have the same wind in the opening round and the weekend round and the qualifying round. It will be changed during those rounds. Therefore, I do have a specific playthrough that will highlight the holes that I think is key to either get a drop or key to get the eagle on a par 5 to not lose a shot, for an example. Obviously, you can follow in the info box on the right hand side to get elevation, club distance adjustment, also what ball and club type I do suggest you to play with. Have in mind, if you do have questions, let me know in the comment section below or send us an email to support@golfclashtommy.com. Let's go to the first hole in this playthrough. We start off with hole number 1, and I cannot stress enough how important this hole is going to be, not just for the qualifying round, but also for the opening round and the weekend round. But in the qualifying round, we do have a northwest wind, which is very helpful, as now we can go for green, or at least go for the green area. We are using a power 3 ball here, and the reason I want us to play with a power 3 ball is to prevent us from having to go with a lot of overpower. Using a power 1, power 2 or even a power 0 ball is going to make us to go with a lot of overpower, and that will be risky if you do hit a bad great right or a great left. In this case, I'm using 2.8 topspin and 3 bars of side spin to the right. I adjust, I push up to max, and I'm not using any overpower whatsoever. And the ball comes in very nicely and leave ourselves for a very short wedge. To just take that shot once again though, to talk about it a little bit more. Can you simplify it even more? Yes, you can, by using a power 5 ball. But in the end, I understand that the power 5 balls come maybe very rare if you haven't been lucky to win them in the golden shot. So power 3 ball is a minimum here to simplify this as much as possible, but obviously once again power 4, power 5 will help you even more. If you do have a Titan ball, you will see yourself most likely be a bit more left to the green than when we are with a Kingmaker. So if you have a Kingmaker to spare compared to a Titan, then a Kingmaker is better than a Titan. But if you do, once again, there's a lot of buts here. It all kind of comes down to what driver you have. I don't have more curl than what I do have on my extra mile. But if you do have a club with more curl, I would say the maximum curl you should use is 1 ball outside the adjustment ring to the right. Be careful if you have more curl than that if using all of that curl, you will risk going into the rough on the right. Maximum distance plus 20. Adjust, push up to max, take your shot, and then you will have a very simple wedge towards the pin. Use the wedge with the best ball guideline. For me, it's a Firefly, and that should be for many of you in a low level, because Firefly is a club that does have a good ball guideline already from the start. And instead of having to play with the dart or with the skewer that does have a very crappy ball guideline, this is an excellent club to play with, even though the accuracy isn't that good. 3.1 miles per hour, and just to have that in mind, when you adjust for short wedges like this, never leave the cup with your ball guideline, because the wind will not affect that ball that much when it comes to this low wind. So keep yourself inside the cup, and you will most likely see yourself hitting a great ball in the hole as well, if you're lucky. But hole number 1, an absolute key hole to start off with a drop, and especially when it's a short par 4, it kind of gets to that we do expect to get this one to drop in any type of wind. We jump to hole number 3, and where we will be playing a very tough hole. And this hole is famous for destroying many hopes and dreams when it comes to making an eagle. First and foremost, don't think about an albatross here. We are looking to get an eagle, which is the par score on this hole, but it's very hard to get that eagle in the end. We first max side spin to the left, 3 bars of topspin. You see I have half of the red ring inside the rough there, and we're gonna look at one more thing in just a bit. First, adjust max plus 10, and then we will be using 1 ball outside the adjustment ring to the right. If you're using a Titan, which you can definitely do, then you use 1.2 of the ball outside the adjustment ring to the left in curl. We're gonna take the drive real quick again to look at one more thing with our position, because you can see that the rough is diagonal, which means we could use the red ring halfway through the rough in many different places. So what do we look for to make sure that we are in the correct place with the red ring? Look at the ball guideline. You see it comes just about now. You see that the ball guideline will have to be towards the left side of the bunker, combined with half of the red ring inside the rough. That is what you're looking for. Second shot, we will be playing an uphill shot, meaning that the ball will be less affected by the wind. So here I will be using a backspin that is 2.5 bar, and I'm using also 2.5 bar side spin to the right. And look at my ball guideline, I'm not nowhere near the pin in terms of my adjustment. And the reason for that is because I do believe personally that this is not an albatross hole. If you do go aggressive towards the pin, fine, you may be dropping that like 1 out of 1,000 shot, if even that. But when the wind are going to change, come opening round, come weekend round, we need to find a way to safely getting this hole to be an eagle. And even if we get up to the fringe there, it will be a very simple wedge towards the pin that we shouldn't miss. And obviously you could use more backspin, but I want to make it as simple as possible for us. Maximum distance -10 for the adjustment. Once again, Titan or a Kingmaker, use that power 3. Does that mean that it's an absolute must have a power 3 ball? No, but it will help you tremendously. So key for hole 3, or like the key reason why I do have hole 3 as a key hole, is because an eagle here will actually be very good, because you will see many players messing up the drive. We are moving on to hole number 5. Here I do feel it's great value in playing with a ball that is, you know, like a quasar ball that you can win in free chest, you can win that in silver chest, and also obviously in pin chests and the tournament chests as well. 2 bars of side spin to the right, I'm using half a bar of top spin, and here I'm starting to have the yellow ring to the left and right by the rough line just before it turns +1. So that is starting position. I will still, however, though, adjust for maximum distance +5. So I will still be using a maximum distance adjustment, even though we are not in complete maximum distance. Perfect ball, and we will see this ball bounce nicely on the fairway, and it will get up nicely on this fairway as well, and being in somewhat a perfect position, in my opinion, 305 yards. From 305 yards, we will be playing with our backbone, and we're playing in somewhat medium distance, but it looks to be maybe a little bit more than medium distance, maybe like 60%. 3 bars of backspin, and we're having the top of the red ring by the rough line. And here we would obviously benefit immensely if we would be playing with a long iron with a better ball guideline, such as the Grizzly. But the backbone is the one that I have the closest to compare to a Grizzly. Adjustment here for myself is 1.8 rings, which is a total of 54% sliders, a little bit more than medium distance. Those not using slider should in that case be playing medium distance, and we will be adding 1.1 rings. I would in the end though consider to add a little bit more, add 0.2, and also go in that case with a 56% slider. I do think that will be more or less spot on from 305 yards. Elevation will be 10%, and this is, in my opinion, and this is the reason why we have it as a keyhole, is that I do believe that we will see ourselves having a very nice and good chance making an eagle here on hole number 5. For hole number 7, we go to our next keyhole here, and this is a keyhole based on that I do believe this is a really good chance to dropping this shot. So here we are going to play a no movement, and a no movement, what is that? That means that you shall not touch your target until it's time to adjust the rings. So you can see that when it's my turn, I'm just leaving the target be, I'm adjusting the spin, and then I will be taking my, or like adjust my rings, and then I will be taking my shot. And a shot like this is very good to play when we can have a good result, obviously. And because then we kind of take away a moment, which means that we will in that case have more time to focus on hitting perfect. So we take it from the beginning once again. So now you know what a no movement are. So we have a no movement here, and the thing that I will be doing is that I will be adding 1 bar of topspin, and that goes for whatever sniper I'm having. Once that is done, I will be adjusting for a maximum distance plus 10 with power 0 ball numbers. And to make it even more simplified for you, it's 1-to-1, meaning you see I have a 3.8 miles per hour. And you should, in that case, adjust 3.8 rings. So you adjust the same amount of rings that what the wind strength is telling you. And then you adjust, as you see there, 3.8 rings, and then it bounces, and it comes up nicely, and it rolls right up pin for a lovely hole-in-one. And this hole is a tough one to drop generally, but this adjustment is, it's such a key one for us, or such a money one for us, to make sure you adapt and you do follow for a good chance for a hole-in-one on hole number 7. To sum it up, we will be playing hole number 9. And why would this be a key hole according to myself? It's because it's a par 5 where the eagle is not safe if we just playing it safe. We are then going to be getting a birdie. So an eagle here is actually considered to be a drop. So now it's time for us to hunt the eagle, because getting an eagle here will most definitely give you an advantage over your opponent, because trust me, some of them will most definitely miss this one. 3 bars of backspin, 1 bar of side spin to the right. I start in absolute maximum distance with my drive. Adjustment, maximum distance plus 10, and even if we adjust a little bit into overpower, we shall not use any overpower, just a normal shot. Perfect ball, and we'll see the ball traveling down the fairway, bouncing nicely on the fairway, up, and it sits nicely at a yardage mark of 307. The yardage doesn't really matter, but we do want to get as close to the rough at the top possible, because the second shot, we need power, we need topspin. We are looking to transport the ball down the fairway to get past, as you can see, past the tree on the right, so we have an open shot towards the pin. So max topspin, 2 bars side spin to the right. Adjustment is maximum distance with no elevation. And here, if we are outside maximum distance, we push up to max. And in the end, we will apply just a tiny little bit of overpower, not much. So like 2 rings of overpower with our shot. And then trying to hit perfect. Obviously, a great ball left or a great ball right might be safe for you, but please be careful, because if you do mess up the second shot, you would potentially mess up the third shot as well. Now, in the end, we don't have any yardage, and we are not playing a linear hole, which means that now we are going to have to be very good on estimating how in what club distance we are playing. So we push up to max, where is maximum distance, and that is what we're going to base our adjustment from. So maximum distance to be on the green, like you saw there, we are going no spin whatsoever. Ball guideline pointing to the hole, but you can also see how short of pin I'm aiming at. And the reason for that is we have a really bad ball guideline with the thorn level 5, so we need to need to think about that the ball will actually roll a fair bit once the ball guideline shows it should technically stop, if that makes sense. Adjustment, I do adjust for maximum distance, and then I do deduct 0.2 decimals. We should be deducting only 1 decimal, because we just get that one in on the left hand side, so 1 extra decimal in terms of adjustment would be good. For those of you using a slider, 90% slider with no elevation is what I want you to use there. In the end though, this is a keyhole. If you get the eagle, you will have a very good chance and then moving 1 shot away from your opponent. So focus, get the eagle, and be very happy with it. Thank you so much everybody for watching this breakdown playthrough for holes number 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 for Rookie Division here for the Stateside Classics Tournament qualifying round in Golf Clash the game. Make sure you send us an email to support@golfclashtommy.com with your thoughts about the new format of the playthroughs. Also, if you obviously have any questions, if you have questions about any of the holes that is not in this breakdown playthrough, make sure you comment that in the comment section below. Video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and make sure you get the ultimate tournament guides on patreon.com/golfclashtommy, where we will obviously cover all the holes combined with the wind changes that will come from the different rounds. Thank you so much for watching, and a massive good luck in the Stateside Classics tournament.